Welcome to another Demarcation Media Blokees review. Today we have the long-awaited Galaxy version 08 and a couple of bonuses: clear Unicron head and ARC storage box. This wave is super exciting for a lot of reasons. We're gonna have a lot of upgrades for the bots themselves, and I cannot wait to get into it. We have new characters, we've got continuations of characters, and I'm very excited. So the box looks really good. It's kind of a purple color scheme. The graphic designers have, as usual, done a fantastic job. And then you can get it open into its display case form, and that's kind of how you would see it on a shelf if you were to find it in stores. This will have been built live, so if you want to watch that, there will be a replay link up in the corner, and we will come back as soon as these guys are all put together. Remember, everything said in this review is my opinions and my opinions only, because you cannot buy good reviews on this channel. And everything is all put together, and I shockingly managed to pull the rare Optimus, which is hilarious because the one time that I was like, you know, it'd be fine if I got the normal, I got the rare. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and jump in, starting with the ARC. This is a pretty simple little thing. It doesn't have a ton of pieces, but it has a lot of nice molded detail. We've got some thruster detail around the back. There's a couple of peg holes on the top. I don't really know what those are for. You get a little stand, and it kind of looks like a bit of a ramp on the back. It's pretty neat. But the big plus about this is it is a storage case, which is awesome, and I'm pouring it out. Well, you can see it pours out easily. But yeah, you can already see I've used this. This is all of the extra hands and stuff for this wave, and they all fit in there. You could probably fit more hands. That's fantastic. So not only can you have something that's really cool on display, but also holds a lot of accessories. Fantastic work on Blokees' side. This is great. I wanted to go ahead and look at both Unicron heads simultaneously because in terms of what they come with and what they are, they're exactly the same. Just one has translucent plastic and one is normal. You get a little ship with each one. There's the clear one and then there's the yellow one. It's a very thin little piece, but I guess it's made to scale, so that's pretty cool. And then the Unicron heads themselves come with a stand. They're the only figures that come with stands. They have these little ball joint bits on there. This does fit on a standard ball joint here. So a lot of people are like, oh, maybe we'll get a Build-A-Figure Unicron. I don't really know if that's what Blokees is planning on doing, but that'd be kind of cool. I'm not really holding my breath for it. You can kind of pull the sides off and remove the face. And there's a secondary face underneath that is this crazy skull. So that's kind of cool. There's a lot of layers of detail here that you can do the same thing for the standard Unicron. I do think the standard Unicron looks a lot better. You see he's got the moving jaw. Very strange thing. Overall, not super like posable or fun to play around with, but it is a nice little display piece. Also, I keep storing them with the ships in their mouths because then you don't lose the ship. Jumping into the actual figures, we have Shrapnel, and he comes with a little bug mode. I think this is kickback. Could be wrong. Somebody can tell me in the comments. He's not super articulated. He just has a little bit of an articulating head. I guess that's his head. And he does have a little Decepticon print. Nice little bonus. I think it's pretty cool. And then the figure himself. So first, let's talk a little bit about the new stuff. So we got a thigh swivel now. That's a brand new thing. That's fantastic. That adds a ton of articulation possibilities. We also get a ball jointed waist, which means a bit of an ab crunch forward and back, side to side. You still get the swivel. That's amazing. You get a double jointed neck like what we saw in the Transformers 1 wave. These are the same joints as what the Marvel figures use. And then we get also a drop down hip. That's pretty good. It adds a little bit of forward motion. The big thing though is the double jointed knee. There's these new pre-assembled double joints. Fantastic. My only real complaint is that when you extend them back out to straight, as you get close, they kind of want to snap back to straight. I don't love that. So it's like making smaller poses like that, it just kind of wants to snap back. That's frustrating to me. It's like they didn't quite get the circle inside there fully circle. That's a lot of articulation. Also, the new joints give slightly past 90 for the elbows. That's great. This will work slightly differently across the figures, but all of them have these upgrades. This dude in particular, the front of the legs like to come off really, really easily. That's a little annoying. And some joints, like especially the hip joint here, can be loose. That is, again, one of my main complaints about Blokees that I've had since day one is loose joints. Their tolerances for the joints always seem to be ever so slightly off. Other than that, we do have the standard like shoulder stuff. This is pretty normal. You get a little bit of a double joint there. He's got these big pincers. It can close over his face. I didn't realize that. That's weird. And then he comes with a very strange gun. Very odd looking gun. Overall, I think this guy is not going to be a huge draw for a lot of people. I mean, if you like the Insecticons, obviously you're going to want to get him. But I've already seen a lot of people talking about, like, they've called him the dud of this wave and whatever. I don't think that's quite fair. I don't think he's a dud. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. I think Blokees did him quite well. But there's nothing particularly stand out about him other than the fact that he uses the new articulation. Blokees has been giving Blitzwing some love lately. We got the recent Defenders version, the little chubby guy. He was a surprise standout. And now we have a Galaxy version, and he's also a surprise standout. I really was just like, oh, okay, we just got him in Defender. Do we really need him? And he's pretty cool. Like, I gotta say, they did him very well. He's got his sword. It looks super cool. That's just awesome. I love it when Transformers have swords. He's got himself a little gun as well. There's print on the chest, waist, and shoulders, which is fantastic. And then when you flip it around to the back, you can see the tank treads and the tank turret all painted up as well. That's awesome. The head looks great. It's not quite as goofy as the little smirking, silly little guy face that Defender's Blitzwing had, but this one's a bit more serious. I think it looks really good. It's all color separated, no print whatsoever, just color separation. He, of course, has the double jointed knees, which allows for a ton of posing. Also, Blokees made the shoulders so that they really don't get in the way at all for posing. You can just get all the way out to the side. That's amazing. I'm honestly quite impressed. I was not expecting to be as impressed with this guy as I was, but he is in my top 3 for this wave for sure. Also, you can hinge his wings. So if you're a Blitzwing fan, this is a huge win because they did so well with this figure. I quite like it. And I love the giant sword. Wait a minute. Can I give the giant sword to the little guy? He is a different color, but... Yes! He can have the giant sword. That's amazing. So Shrapnel wasn't really a dud, but I think Hot Rod is a little bit. Now, I was actually very much looking forward to Hot Rod, especially because the Hot Rod and Rodimus Defender figures are great. This guy's almost great, and there's one big thing holding him back. It's not the accessories, though. The accessories are fantastic. He has a fishing rod with a little rubber Sharkticon on the end. This line and the Sharkticon are all one piece. This is hilarious. You've got a connection point here and here. This is so funny. I love that Blokees is willing to put in these comedic accessories. He also comes with, he's got all of his alternate hands, but he does have the saw as well. Oddly enough, it doesn't really stick all the way in. They chose not to do a ball joint, and they did a peg. That was the wrong choice. It barely fits in, and it, like, yeah, no, not very good, Blokees. I'm actually gonna go ahead and take that off now, and we'll grab our arc, and we will get Rodimus a hand. I don't like that. That's not great. Detail-wise, he's fantastic. He's got molded detail on his spoiler. The chest has a bunch of molded detail. I know some people weren't happy about that because it's not like exactly G1 accurate. Feels like a mix of IDW and G1 to me, just because of how much detail it has. Shoulders look great. Head does not look great. I don't really know how they botched this so badly, but they made the chin, like the whole face tapers down way too much. The Defender's Hot Rod, got it pretty right. This did not. It's way too skinny and looks kind of weird as a result. His lips are kind of like pooched out and he looks, as some people have described it, like a monkey. And I can see that. I can see the monkey and I cannot unsee the monkey now. Why, Blokees? You were so close. And that face really screws it up. It's got color separation and there's some print on the forehead, but that does not save it. I think the head just is bad. A little while back, Blokees did some Sharkticon like storage cases similar to the Ark, and now we have an actual Sharkticon. This is, I believe, Gnaw. They just label him as Sharkticon, but everybody's been calling him Gnaw. I've seen a lot of complaints. People are like, no, he needs to be chubbier. He's not pudgy enough. I don't really know how you would make a Blokees figure pudgy without breaking the Blokees like system, because the standard is to use basically the same forearms for the most part and the same legs and whatnot. So I don't really know how they would do more than what they've done. They have done some. So they gave shorter lower legs. These are all one piece. They gave the original thighs, which are shorter. They don't have the thigh swivel. And he's got these kind of stubby arms. And the detail is fantastic. He also does still have the ab crunch, which gives a surprising amount, but is again a little bit loose. Look at that though. There's print for the eyes. There's a little tail that barely moves. It's on a ball joint, but it barely moves. He's got a gun that looks really cool, even though it has a shark fin on it. And the mouth moves. So look at that. Closed mouth, Sharkticon. Because this hinges though, it is so hard to pose his head. These teeth get in the way and you kind of have to like, this is what I keep doing. I keep pulling off the gun and like using that to brace it. Except now I just popped it off. Yeah, this makes him very unfun. I really would have liked to see Blokees do, I don't know, a hinge up here or something. But yeah, it's essentially impossible to pose his head with any precision because of these teeth. And the teeth don't come out easily. So detail-wise, they look fantastic, but in terms of actual practice, it's very frustrating. Other than that, he's a great figure. I don't really have any complaints aside from that posing. It's, ugh, the posing, I hate it. Next up, we have Sludge. This is Dino mode Sludge, and I think this finishes up the Dinobots, I think. And it's nice to get him. He's not my favorite of the Dinobots. I think overall he's a little plain, but it does the job. There is some nice print on the sides. He has articulation. There's a hinge here, moves out to the sides. He's got more normal joints here. The head can rotate here. It can rotate here, and you get some movement for the tail. The head also has an opening jaw that can really open, golly. And there's also a little peg in there, so if you happen to have that flame effect from Grimlock or the flame effect from Swoop, you can put that in there. And he comes with very bulgy eyes, very bulgy eye attachment. I guess that happens at some point in the cartoon, and they gave that as an attachment. And it looks really cursed and really goofy. But it's hilarious, again, that Blokees is willing to do these very comedic accessories. So if you're a Dinobots fan, you're going to need this one. Bot mode is a different story. This looks really good to me. At first, I thought he was kind of plain. And I have to say, this fella here is still my favorite of the Dinobots. But man, Blokees did a good job here. First, he comes with a new weapon mold. This looks great. It looks very grenade launcher-esque. Fantastic. I think that they did a really good job. I think it makes him stand out in a good way. It's not just the same old weapon. It's very different, very fun to pose. And then he got quite a bit of detail. I thought he didn't, just based on the renders and whatnot, but no, he's got print up on the chest as well as molded detail. He's got print on the lower legs, print on the waist. The head is color separated, looks really good. And then there's print around the back, which I was not expecting at all. But it's a very welcome surprise. Makes the back look less just gray slab-like. These do hinge. They can hinge forward and back. That looks pretty good. The sides of the legs have the tail. That doesn't inhibit his posing at all because he's got the new joints. So he can do all kinds of poses. And the shoulders also don't inhibit his joints. So overall, he's really just fantastic. I feel like another sleeper hit here, and he's a lot of fun to pose. He's very stable. He's just good. I don't really actually have complaints. I thought I was going to, but no, Blokees did a good job here. This guy is one of my absolute favorite figures from this wave. This is Metroplex. Yes, obviously he's not to scale. He's not even to scale with the Defender figures. He's still way too small. But this is Blokees trying something new. This is essentially a miniature scale model of Metroplex, and I am all for it. So he's got a ton going on. For accessories, he comes with a miniature Optimus, which is still too big. I don't really know why they included this. It's interesting, but it's all just a blank gray piece. And you can have Metroplex hold it. But again, he's still just way too big. So it's all right. He comes with a gun. The gun looks like it cannot hold a muzzle flare, which is unfortunate. Yeah, there's no way to put a muzzle flare on here. That's unfortunate, but the gun does look good. And the Metroplex himself looks fantastic. He's got so much molded detail and so much printed detail. So they gave him a wider chest, which means no double jointed shoulders, but these shoulders move well enough that you can still get him out to a T-pose, and that is not a problem at all. He's got an even better ab crunch than some of the other guys. The head gets plenty of movement. He's got some print on the chin, print and color separation on the chest, print on the shoulders. The guns have tons of really nice detail. The lower legs are very chunky, but has a ton of print and still poses just as good as any of the other figures, even on the feet, despite them being a little bit blocked on the side. And then there's also print around the back and a ton of molded detail, which I was not expecting. I don't typically expect print around the back, but they did it. It looks great. And overall, I think he's just really good. Again, not in scale, but I'm perfectly fine with that. You can just display him kind of off to the side, make him be in the distance. I don't know. It's just cool, okay? And finally, we have Optimus Prime. Now, this is the secret rare version. There is a normal version. I was honestly really hoping to pull that one because this looks like it could be the definitive Blokees Galaxy Optimus Prime with the new articulation and whatnot. The red looks great. There's less detail, especially on the front of the legs, but that could be easily painted, and that's something I might do once the one I ordered arrives. But for now, we have the secret rare to look at, and this is very interesting. So this is half dead Optimus, and you get actually 2 chest plates, one that is undamaged and one that has this big gash in it. And that's to put this spike, and people said it was a spike that Megatron threw. I guess this is not the thing that killed him in the 86 movie because I remember that being a gun. So I don't really know what this is from. I also don't really know why people keep saying this is like, oh, it's accurate G1 Optimus. This doesn't really look G1 Optimus to me with these bulky bits on the forearms and the way that the head is with the tall ears and some of the extra detail. It looks more like an IDW Optimus. Am I wrong? Am I just completely off the mark here? Because it looks IDW to me. Regardless, I love it. He's got a new beefed up cannon. This cannon can, in fact, use a blast effect, though he does not come with any. And then the detail is insane. There's battle damage print on all the gray sections. Most of these parts are actually white parts that they painted on, which is very cool, although I am hoping that the paint doesn't scratch. The eyes are color separated. He's got silver for the face. And it's just such an interesting figure to look at. I have to say, I do wish that they had just done a standard shiny red Optimus. Introducing a new mold like this and then just giving this kind of very niche secret. I understand it, but I also don't. I don't know, half and half is a little weird. I feel like a full dead or a full shiny would have been the way to do it. But they did this. They did it really well. I think it does look awesome. I think that the upgraded articulation works super well for this guy, even though he is technically dead. So posing him in a bunch of ways is, I don't know, maybe redundant. But anyway, he's really cool. He comes with some extra hands and stuff. If you pull him, you have gotten some very good luck. Well, there you have it. That is Blokees Galaxy version 08. Overall, very solid wave. I think the upgrades to the articulation make this a turning point for Blokees Galaxy versions. I thought that the Transformers 1 Wave 2 was the big articulation upgrade, but no. Blokees went farther with this. I'm so happy with that. Overall, I think the character selection is solid. I think some like Shrapnel is like, okay, he's fine. He's not horrible, but he's fine. And then the biggest glaring issue, Hot Rod's face. Man, how did they mess that up? I was originally thinking that my top 3 was going to be Optimus, Metroplex, and Hot Rod, because I like everything else about Hot Rod. But then that face is so bad, I can't get over it. So Blitzwing actually takes that other spot. They did him so perfectly. He's fun to pose. He looks fantastic. He's got the sword. He takes one of the 3 spots. Optimus is amazing. The secret rare is very unique, very different. I am getting a normal one, and I really hope to see Blokees crank out all the Optimus recolors with this mold. I may be alone in thinking that, but a Nemesis with that mold would be great. And I would love to get Ultra Magnus as well. I don't know, what can I say? I'm a sucker for Optimus recolors, okay? I got all the other Galaxy ones. I love them. Nemesis is one of my favorites. I'm hoping to see at least Nemesis. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. And Metroplex is also a standout. So let me know, what do you think about this wave? Which one is your favorite, or which ones are your favorites? What do you think about the articulation upgrade? Which ones are you gonna pick up? Are you gonna pick up all of them? What do you think about the Unicron head? Do you think that's part of a combining set? Like, are we gonna see the body and arms and stuff released in future Galaxy waves? I look forward to hearing your thoughts down in the comments below. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.